And I say this to our viewing audience as well, because as we tune in, we are ready. We are ready to go to that next level. We are ready to open ourselves to that experience. Today's topic is the energy of spirit. And Dr. Ernest Holmes, who is the founder of Science of Mind, said, "There is no spot where God is not." Emerson said, "There is no large or small in the one mind that knows all." That everything is spirit. Everything is electromagnetic energy, divine particles. Quantum physicists have come up with that, are now in alignment with spiritual principles. It's not just empirical knowledge. It is the experience of God, whatever we choose to call our higher power, whatever name we put on it, to acknowledge that which is within us as greater than that which resides in the world of conditions, appearances, and effects. We align with that higher vibratory frequency. We open ourselves up to that energy of spirit. And what I know for myself is that as I let go and let God do what God does best by means of me, God always has a better idea. And when I am resisting, when I'm thinking it's got to work out a certain way, I block the energy. This is the human condition, where we think it has to turn out and look a certain way and fit all of our pictures. But when we finally let go and let God do what God does best, energetically there is a flow. There is a divine flow. There is an energy. And at this, at this time of the year where the frequency, the love frequency, we can feel it. It's palpable. We can feel it in the air. And that all the great religions come together. The Dalai Lama said that the one golden thread among all religions is that we believe in love, compassion, forgiveness, oneness, and he mentioned tolerance. But I believe in our way of life, we move beyond even tolerance. Because tolerance is, I'm putting up with you. I am tolerating you. I'm just so religious. Oh, I'm just so religious. I'm tolerating you. Oh, I'm just so good. But accepting is, you know what? You do it differently than me. You may have a different lifestyle, but I accept you. Because you are as close to God as I am ever going to get. And I am as close to God as you are ever going to get. And if I am in that place in me, and you are in that place in you, there truly is only one of us. We are part of the human family. That blood that courses through our veins courses through every great avatar, seer, and sage of the age. That we align with that consciousness. That in the Buddhist tradition, every several years, they all go to the Bodhi tree. Some make their Hajj, from Tibet, they make their journey. Hajj means journey, from Tibet. And I watched a documentary one time where they were interviewing a monk who prostrated himself the entire way to this amazing event that happens every 10 years or whatever, to the Bodhi tree. And that people from Sri Lanka and all over the world make this trek to the Ganges River and to the Bodhi tree. Well, obviously, this is the seed of the Bodhi tree. It's kind of like when you go to Bethlehem and they're, on every street corner, they're selling pieces of the cross. I mean, talk about multiplying the loaves and fishes here. I mean, we're talking a lot, this is really quite miraculous, getting a little piece of the cross. But what we know is electromagnetically, we tune into these energies. And as we tune into these energies, something happens. Well, this monk, he prostrated himself, and they put wooden, little wooden panels on their hands, so that when they lay down on the ground and prostrate, they don't, have all these blisters and things going on with their hands. But he still had, it hadn't healed on his third eye on his temple from prostrating. It took him 3.5 years to get there. And he said it was quite a journey, and there were times that he was hungry, that he was thirsty, and through the kindness of strangers, that people would extend themselves to him. And when the interviewer said, "Why did you do it?" he said, "For this moment. For this moment." And the moment that they get there, and this event that takes about 10 days, the monks get there and they begin their sand paintings. And when I got back from New York and seeing the Dalai Lama, I brought a beautiful book of mandalas and sand paintings. And they are very intricate, and there are several levels, and there's several beautiful, beautiful drawings inside. And at the end of that period of time, they just take their hand and they run it through the sand painting to demonstrate the impermanence of life, that we must celebrate the temporary, that the temporary is everywhere present in the outer world, and the only changeless reality is within us. Saint Teresa said, "Let nothing disturb thee, let nothing affright thee. All things are changing. God only is changeless." The changeless reality within us is that place in us that has never been touched by grief. It has never been offended nor taken offense. It is the place of knowing. It is the place of transcendence. It is the place of God, whatever we conceive our higher power to be, whatever name we put on it, to know that energy is within the heart center, vibrating to the green of healing and abundance and the pink of compassion and forgiveness. So today, as we talk about the energy of spirit and making our own journeys, people go over to India, and I have friends, and one was an astronaut, and he said that he watched Sai Baba materialize out of the thin air a diamond ring. And that energetically he was just amazed that he could tap through those dimensions. And that he would tell everybody, go back to the West. You have it within you. You don't need to come over here. But we do, because we need to take our journeys to realize that the energy is within us. Spirit is within us. That if I want to really, really walk the journey of 1,000 miles, it begins with the first step within me. To realize it is within each and every one of us. And that's why ritual space is good. That's why today, in so many different traditions, they are coming together to celebrate the new year, the new opportunity to live our lives in such a way that we understand more than we don't understand. We get it more than we don't. When Buddha said life is like hands clapping, that I've got it. Oh my God, where did it go? I've got it again. Where did it go? I've got it. It left. I've got it. It left. The whole energy to that is that we've got it more than we don't. So life is one great applause where we're always touching the seamless hem of the garment of truth. That wherever we go in the world on our sacred journeys, and I have walked through the rainforests of Costa Rica and felt God. I have walked through the giant redwoods and I have felt my higher power. I have been to the mountains in Sedona and walked the medicine wheel and felt the energies of the ancestors that were joining me. I could hear the chanting and the singing. That everywhere present, the veil is very thin. There are many dimensions. That this isn't just our first round. And when you feel a connection with someone, it's because, we've been together before. We have been together before, and we are reuniting. And it's not a first-time meeting. It's a joyful reunion of souls that have been together many lifetimes. And as we come together to do some important work, that ego, the whole energy of ego, is released. And when this monk talked about prostrating himself, and all the way from Tibet to the Ganges, it's a way of relinquishing the ego. When my daughter was in Fatima, there were those on their knees, and their knees were bleeding so that they could get to the Holy Mother and get the waters of Fatima. And she said, I held one person's hand all the way there to support them in their journey. It was not my journey, but it was their journey. And out of honoring and respect, I held their hand so they could get to the waters. And then she brought me back the waters of Fatima. And the miracle and the energies that have occurred there, because it is done unto us as we believe. And there is a charged energy space. And I have people that say, I go to the Camelot Theater, I'm in Theater A, I'm in Theater B. It doesn't have the energy as Theater C. Well, of course. We've been here 12 years, counting when it was first opened. 12 years this Easter. So energetically, there is a charged energy space. And when the energy is charged, you feel something. You feel an energy that's permeating, moves through the heart center, moves through the throat center, where we begin to speak in a new way. We begin to keep our conversations in heaven. We begin to speak that which forwards and advance. We become impeccable with our word. And as Ernest Holmes said, our word is law unto the thing in which it is sent, and does not return to us void, but returns in full-blown expression of that which has been sent forth. So as we stand porter at the gate of our conscious mind, allowing only those things in that serve us, we go to the next level. Remember, life is a spiral. We are on the upward spiral. That as we open ourselves to the truth that sets us free, we have our own rituals. On our wonderful candlelight service, everyone received a candle. They lit it from the Christ candle. Let your light so shine before men and women that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in the heaven of your own consciousness. We lit the candle from within us. The Dalai Lama said that all of these mandalas that they are drawing, he said the true mandala is within us. It is all within, outpicturing as people, places, things, art, culture, life, and love. It outpictures in that way, and it is about community, the two or three gathered together, the synergistic mind that arises through that community and the energy of knowing that we're not here by chance, we are here by divine appointment. So as we look at our year, what is it that we want to embrace? What is it that we want to release? And our willingness to finally release it, no matter who, what, or how was done to us. That doesn't matter. We drew in the experiences that we needed to grow and to unfold. And no matter how tragic a situation is, there is one life. That life is God's life. And that life is our life now. And that in the face and the energy of spirit, we are deathless, timeless beings of light. So I thought, what would be a good ritual for us on the last Sunday of the year? And I'm sure you've thought about it for yourself, writing down the things that you know, a gratitude list for the year, writing down the things that you want to experience. And I was in Santa Fe, it's interesting because Camilla Anthony, who is our greeter, one year gave me, this is called wish paper, and it's called flying wish paper. And she had given it to me a few years ago, and I passed it out at the door. And when I was in Santa Fe, I was in a little shop, and it said flying wish paper. And I thought, wow, we haven't had flying wish paper in a few years. So what you do is you write it, you light a match to it, and you release it. And it says, light it, you write it, light it, and then you fly it. And it just goes to the ether. So I have this at the door, and if any of our viewing audience wants any of this, well, we invite you to join us on a Sunday. Yes, we do, don't we? This is the community that supports you in watching this program. Our beloved Julian Paul Hernandez is our wonderful videographer. So, you know, what is so wonderful, though, is that when people are in town, they do visit us, and it really is wonderful. So this is write it, fly. You're going to write it, light it, and fly it. You're going to write down what you want, and you're going to offer it up. You're going to offer it up in such a way that you know that it's an already accomplished fact in mind and experience. I love little rituals that get our attention, that allows us to internalize what is going to work and what is going to unfold in such a way that we'll remember. We'll remember at a DNA cellular level. And I believe that things should be also fun and celebratory, and that heaviness that we feel at times, that we move through that into the light that penetrates the darkness and eventually absorbs it. Maya Angelou had this beautiful poem called I Rise, I Rise, I Rise. I rise through all these experiences. I am a black ocean of love. I rise, I rise, I rise. And I thought about our wish paper, that let it rise. And as we light it, that smoke moves in a spiral. It moves into the ethers as an already accomplished fact in mind and experience because we have embodied it. In our way of life, we mastermind. We know the mastermind has heard us and given us what we have asked for. As we speak into the law of mind, as we surrender what no longer serves us, as we surrender all the things in our life that have been there and that we have learned and we're ready to release. As I let go and let God do what God does best by means of me, is I release it in such a way that something begins to happen. The energy of spirit, everything is God. Even the profane becomes sacred. When people say, oh, my past, I said, great, wonderful. It brought you here, didn't it? So let's spiritualize it. Let's allow it to do the thing that it was meant to do, which was to bring you into awareness, into the evolution of your own soul. In a place near the Himalayas where they have camels, they take the camel milk and they spray it around to the mountain in reverence and gratitude to the camel. I thought, as we bless everything in our energy field, as we spread it and we give it light and energy and appreciation and gratitude, something begins to happen to us. That we begin to lighten up. And this is evolution, when we no longer need to react in the outer world and to that energy. That we just let it be. And in letting it be, bless it in such a way that we know in our hearts and in our souls that we are served at such a level that someone needed our love and compassion and that we were willing to give it to them. So today, as we come together, as we acknowledge this last Sunday of the year, as we form our gratitude list, as we write it, light it, and fly it into the realms of spirit, into the knowingness from whence we come, the energy of light, because the light penetrates the darkness, doesn't it? It absorbs it, and it eventually what? Illuminates it. And there really is only light, just light. And as we feel that light and that energy, as we begin to move past this amazing year, some of us have lost loved ones that have moved on. Some of us have experienced amazing material losses that it looked like material loss, only to gain an understanding and realize I'm still here and I'm still me. That I am not defined by people, places, and things. That the eternal reality in my life is that eternal connection to everyone in my life that has been there, that has served me, that I have served, that I have embraced. In this last Sunday of the year, let's open to gratitude. Let's open to the light that allows us to rise up in a way that we never thought we could rise up, a way that moves past and we're kind of looking down on it all in a state of non-attachment but great compassion and energy as we open ourselves today. So in closing, let's just do an affirmation together. I am happy, healthy, prosperous, and free. 3 times. I am happy, healthy, prosperous, and free. I am happy, healthy, prosperous, and free. I am happy, healthy, prosperous, and free. And we are truly prosperous when we have all 5 key action areas handled, beginning in the spiritual, the mental, emotional, the physical, the relational, and the financial. We are a whole person living effectively in all 5 key areas of our life, and we are going higher and higher and higher. And so it is. God bless you, and Happy New Year. It's a whole new